Thank you to Citizen Bridge for organizing this event. It's very exciting to be here. And so I kind of want to give you a background of all the different projects we've been working on at OpenNorth in the past year, and talk about kind of the strategy that we use to develop these tools. So we're a Montreal-based nonprofit, and as Anita mentioned, we go on our mission with two main strategies: to improve access to government information by making it easily available, so doing a lot of access to information requests, as well as pulling data out of PDFs that might not be machine readable, and basically providing context to numbers so that they can be relevant to journalists or citizens and just for general use. And so we want to make participation easy, fun, and meaningful. And so we do this by working with governments to increase the number of ways citizens can engage, so kind of changing the thinking behind why you would engage, and basically just helping citizens connect. So to start, going through all the different projects we've been working on, Citizen Budget is what kind of got OpenNorth started in May of 2011. And sorry about the the vibrating over here, but we developed an online consultative budget simulator, which allows municipalities to ask their citizens about the budget, much like you would in a public consultation at City Hall, but it's online. And it came out of development with Richard Ryan, who was a city councillor in the Plateau borough of Montreal, and as the borough was looking for a tool that was educational and also a survey tool. And so it's customizable and allows the city to put in their own data, so how much it costs to do snow removal, like how much each truck costs, and then you get to consult on that. And so I actually just want to take a quick moment to show you how it works. I have it up here. So when you log into Citizen Budget, you get an introduction from the mayor or whoever is the representative of the city's budget process. And then you see the questions. If a citizen wanted to engage on whether the city should be holding more cultural exhibitions at a public center, for example, they would see the unit cost to the right and use that slider and drag it. And as they made that change, it would be represented in real time on the expenses and revenues bar at the top, which follows you as you scroll down. And once the citizen has balanced their budget, they're able to submit the budget to the city. And so what this is doing is actually putting the citizen in the shoes of the municipal administrator and giving them the opportunity to play with the numbers and see what it takes. Where, for example, if I'm interested in having potholes filled on my street, I'm going to be able to see that that means there's going to be less money to allocate to making a city park have more trees or more another skating rink or something. So to give you some results, to show you how this has actually been working in the real world, Budget Plateau has been running in 2011 and 2012, consulting on the next year budget cycle in Montreal. And so this year, out of the 100,000 residents of the borough, 4,400 visited and over 729 to be exact, submitted budgets. And basically what another great factor of online consulting is that you don't have to do it one night at a public consultation in City Hall. You can do it for 2 months. That's what the budget has been doing and what Newmarket, Ontario did as well with Citizen Budget. And you're able to then get actual concrete results that can be directly applied into your budget process. So for two examples that came out of the Budget Plateau process were that 72% of residents were interested in creating an organic waste collection, like Green Bin here in Toronto, and 64% were in favor of a new public art spending with an average of $37,000 allocated annually. So what this is doing is, instead of being in a room where people are putting up their hands and saying like yes to more public spending but not understanding the numbers, you're getting an aggregate of what your residents think the spend should be on a particular item. And so that allows for more direct integration. Furthermore, it really allows the city to understand that their citizens know what they're talking about. For example, the Plateau asked, would you be in favor of a general local tax? 70% of respondents said absolutely not. But then, when further down in the survey, the plateau asked if you would be in favor of a local tax tied to a specific project, such as planting trees, filling potholes, the exact same 70% was for it. And so it's proving, it's an interactive process that proves to the city that citizens want results. The majority of responses were driven from traffic straightly from social media. And this is just a map showing that we've launched in Newmarket. We're about to do the Southwest Borough in Montreal, and Mankato, Minnesota is next. And so we're not really exclusive to Canada. We just want to share these tools and make sure that they're portable to whoever needs them. So moving on, we also operate Represent, which is the largest database of elected officials in Canada. We have data on the federal MPs, provincial legislators, 42% of municipal officials, so councillors and mayors, and then we have the ward boundaries for all of the federal districts, or the electoral boundaries for all of the federal districts, provincial, and then 63% of ward boundaries for the Canadian population. And so this database has been used by 14 different organizations. So for example, the David Suzuki Foundation and Fair Vote Canada use it for their advocacy campaigns. So when they want to do petition writing, by entering the citizen's postal code into the petition, it'll automatically tell their web form who to send it to. So they'll match it with the right MP, the right MPP, and the right city councillor. And so this is something that we're really excited about at OpenNorth. We're really trying to help other organizations like Environmental Defense, who we're working with this month, to integrate Represent into their advocacy campaigns and basically help civil society organizations be more efficient and effective. And so then Marie is our project that we are redeveloping right now. It is a portal for the City of Montreal to see tweets, Facebook, and voting records, and also attendance in City Hall. And so what we're trying to do now is we're working with the Participatory Politics Foundation, which is the hardest name in all of Open Data to pronounce. And we're working with them to make this into a portable open standard that any city can just take and run with, kind of like open governments in the US. And so just for some statistics, we've had 10,000 visitors in Montreal and 24,000 page views. So this is a tool that Montreal journalists and citizens are both really relying on. And then another one that's really, really exciting. This is probably my favorite. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you that. But Open 511 is our new open standard and framework for managing and publishing road events. And it was funded by GeoConnections, which is a geospatial data infrastructure grant from the Government of Canada. And so what we're trying to do is create an open standard and API to help government publish road event data, have it be accidents or closures, kind of the same way how the global public transit data really changed apps and really changed civic engagement. We're trying to investigate that for road events. And so there's three basic things that we're trying to do here, which is make relevant data available in a single common detailed format, so that way when the province of British Columbia wants to talk to the city of Vancouver about the Sea to Sky Highway, they're not doing it through email that can get lost or presentations or over the phone, but rather in like one standard that can be shared, so that way then in Ottawa people can pick it up right away and understand. And if you're a developer in Halifax, you don't need to talk to the people in British Columbia and Vancouver to get your app going. Because we really believe that interoperability is what is the basis of open government, and that crowdsourcing, so getting, again, residents in Halifax or developers in Halifax to input data into the open standard is going to increase the data that Ottawa has about all of its roads across Canada. And then finally, we have Gazette Docs, which the Montreal Gazette commissioned from us to create a centralized database of all the contracts, because I'm sure I hope it reaches Toronto News that in Montreal we have a little bit of a problem with contracts and getting things done in the city. So we've created a database where you can see the type of contract, who got the contract, and basically centralize all that information. And I think to date 4 or 5 articles have been written using Gazette docs. So again, about like what Joey was talking about, using open data to drive journalism. And yeah, so that's it from me. Those are all of the projects we've been working on, and we're excited to talk to you about it more.
All right, big round of applause.